kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday. I'm currently shooting this on Sunday afternoon, now that my massive headache and my weird side effects from my second jab, have subsided. I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is it's going to be a very short video. The bad news is it's going to be a very short video because it's been a bad week for progress and not a lot has got done. I've had day job stuff, I've had road trips, I've had all sorts of things happening, including rehearsals for the musical. And I'm not going to get a lot done. By the time this video gets out, Tuesday I'll be right into another very busy week, and progress on Marvin is slowing ridiculously badly. As I said last week, I'm still doubtful now whether I'm going to get him finished in time. But what I'm going to focus on, at least for the rest of the day today, and hopefully a little bit tomorrow, is finishing up things that could potentially be finished, as in sprayed and painted. So today I've been working on finalising the forearms. It's just a little bit of spot filling and a final smooth sand. Again, the finished painted look of these things, I'm not going to be 100%. Some of you perfectionists out there will be like, oh, you cut the corner there, or oh, you didn't put enough work in it there. But as I said, I've never been great at this kind of thing. I always overdo it or don't do it enough or whatever, and I'm never satisfied with the final finish. So I'm just going to get them 90%, you know, and that's it. Thankfully, my mate Steve, who did the feet, is working on the handlebars and the ankles, and I know he's going to drop them off tomorrow, I think. So you might see them in this video, I'm not sure, depends if I have any footage in time. If so, it's here. Steve turned up and he has made the ankles super smooth again, so many thanks to Steve for that. I'm going to get the primer on this when I get some primer, because I'm out of primer because it all went on the head. Also, he has taken the handlebars, which we've taken to calling them handlebars, given them all a nice sanding. All the green and you can see on here is the paint that the filament that it was originally printed in, a sort of green colour. So yes, hands are looking dead smooth. This is the one that I painted resin on, but it's Steve's helped smooth it out. Really nice job. Looking forward to that. And just now in the post we had this big giant box. Okay. Need something to open the box with. Alright, so what's this? Rubber. The black rubber matting that Marvin has on many of his parts. Oh, look at that. Ribbed for your pleasure, and mine too. If you can see that. There you go. It's kind of really dodgy angle, but yeah, you can see the angle of this ribbed rubber matting. And tell you what, oh, that takes me back. There's carbon in this, and you know how I know? Because of the smell. I used to work in a factory doing hospital furniture, and all the rubber feet on the chairs and the rubber wheels, the casters and everything had to have this black carbon in it because it's anti-static, so it doesn't gather static when you're rolling your chairs and your hospital trolleys up and down the halls. But yes, this is the cool rubber matting that they used on the costume for Marvin. In many areas where things would bump into each other or rub or bash each other, they put this here to take up the scratches, etc. So yeah, that's the kind of the last big purchase for Marvin. Very messy here. Anyway, back to the video. Anyway, so again with the forearms, this one is pretty much ready to paint. He said a sand all over is just one tiny little bit I need to fix there before I paint. But I'll give them a coat of primer, then the silver paint. Same with this forearm, there's not a lot left to do, just a couple of little spots that need fixing and sanding there. And then the head, I'm going to fix a ding there. I'm going to obviously smooth sand, wet sand, the whole thing, and see if we can get a final primer on him. And if the weather lasts, it's now 5 o'clock, if the weather and the light is with us, might be able to get a coat of silver on him, which will be exciting. But I don't know. There are lots of little areas here, which is not Clive's fault. It's my fault that the filling isn't too great, and that's stuff that I've done. And looking at it now with a nice coat of primer on it, which is what primer's for, is to identify the areas that look a bit rough. And I can see a couple of little rough areas, and I really want the head to be as pristine as I can possibly make it. So let's see how far we get with this. I'm going to cut now to 3D printing stuff upstairs. So here we see the last part of Marvin being 3D printed. This is currently 30 hours and 51 minutes into a 45-hour, well, 45-50 print. This is the final thigh part. After that, I don't think there's anything left for Marvin to have 3D printed. So then I've got to decide whether I'm keeping the 3D printer or not, because I don't know if I'll be using it much more. May find some work on the Dalek, but other than that, not a lot. So I don't actually have anything else to buy for Marvin, I don't think. Pretty much everything I need is either with me or on the way or with someone else being worked on. So it's a case of racing to the finish line. As I said, I'm not going to give up. I don't feel particularly confident that I'll be finished, and I also don't feel particularly confident that the tattoo convention will go ahead in July as planned. The organisers want it to go ahead, and they're hoping with everything crossed that it will go ahead, but they have not had any confirmation or denial from the local authorities about whether it's willing to go ahead or whether it's going to go ahead due to the situations. So we still have to wait, and as such, I'm going to carry on, obviously, keep going with him, see how close to the finish line we can get, and obviously for the next few weeks you'll be seeing this every Tuesday, and obviously hopefully a bit more progress than you have over the last 2 weeks. But it's a very busy time for me. It's very weird. As things slowly grind back to normal, my workload's going through the roof. You know, I've got 3 book illustration jobs to do at once, some voiceover stuff, some logo stuff. They've got to take priority. They pay the bills, and if I don't pay the bills and the rent, then I don't do the day job, I can't afford to keep working on stuff like this. So bear with me. We're getting into the sort of home stretch with Marvin now, because as things start beginning to get painted, that sort of signifies the end of that work on that part. Currently the feet have been the only things that have been painted, and the chest unit obviously, but we're getting there. So I'm hoping at least today to get the forearms painted, and fingers crossed maybe a little bit more work on the head. Okay, so late addition to the video. As you can see, Marvin has had a coat. In fact, he's had 2 coats of primer. The final primer is a matte white that I had hanging around. He's nice. He's not 100%, as I've always said, but he is pretty nice. I don't know if you can catch any of the detail there. It's only a 720. And also I've painted both forearms silver. I've said, sod it, I'm going for it. I'm going to paint them silver. The main surfaces are kind of almost there. The blending around the edges, again, dings and stuff which kind of bug me, but I'm never going to get them done the way I want them. For the most part, they look quite nice. There are some rough, very rough bits like that there, but it's on the joint, and kind of, it's not something I'm going to lose sleep over, to be honest. Again, if you're out there tutting, going cowboy half job or whatever you want to say, oh, that's the inside as well, the inside of the arm. So it hasn't had a lot of work on it, but I don't care. And that's the back. Ironically, the back is really nice. But yeah, if you're out there tutting and going, ooh, what a cowboy, then feel free to come over and spend a few hours and your own money, making it look perfect. But tomorrow I'm going to give Marvin's head a good 24 hours to cure with the white primer and stuff. Like I say, you know, close up, there are bits that need probably a little bit of TLC, But all my TLC is TLC'd out now. I want to see this in some kind of organised form where he's silver and he's coming together now. I can always tweak bits and touch them up, you know, at a later date, maybe improve him at my leisure. Okay, back to the main video. Okay, ladles and jelly spoons. He's had a couple of coats of silver. And I know I've said this a million times before. The silver will bring out defects and dings and bits that could have been cleaned up a little bit more. But I don't care. It just gets me depressed if I keep thinking about it. But top of his head and the back, really nice. Once again, I want to thank Clive at Burkbench for getting rid of all the print lines, David Nagel for the ears, Dave Damon for beginning the model off, and Merv Statten for finishing the model. I did the mouth. But all he's going to have now is a coat of clear lacquer to make him a little bit more glossy, and it kind of brings the silver down a bit, which is, to be honest, what Marvin is like. He almost looks like a gloss grey than a silver. But I think once the clear lacquer's on and he's had his chrome dots and aluminium plates and stuff, I think he'll be fine. Get the orange plastic in there and the mesh for the mouth, and yeah, pretty happy with that. Marvin's never happy with anything, but that's why we got something in common, I think. But there you go. Okay. Anyway, that's all from me this week. I apologise for it being a ridiculously short video, but it's better than sitting through half an hour of me waffling, isn't it? Oh, before we go, it's just dawned on me. The thigh piece that I'm printing upstairs is not the last bit that needs printing, 3D printing. I need to print the circular mount for the neck. I've got this turntable, but that's got to go on a 1-inch mount or an 1.5 inch mount, circular mount like the shoulders have. Do I have any to hand? No, I do not, never mind. But yes, it's a little sort of 1-inch circular cylinder that the head sits on. So yes, I do have something to print, and I will set that up as soon as the thigh bit starts printing. So where was I? Yes, I was about to sign off. It's a splendid sunny day. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Hope you're having fun while we have our brief English summer, British summer, Welsh summer, whatever you want to call it, UK summer. Have fun, and hopefully see you next week for crawling slow progress, hopefully with a few more exciting things to show you. So that's all from me this week. Take care now. Bye bye.